Well, thank you everyone for joining today. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So we're super excited about our digital accelerator program for commercial. This is going to be a great option for an agent that wants to expand their digital presence, but either doesn't know where to start or just doesn't want to dedicate the time to scheduling posts, setting up ads, doing website editing, email campaigns, those kinds of things. We also want to stress that this program was built specifically for commercial, so we didn't just copy and paste our residential program. We made this specific for commercial and the sites that you're going to see the most engagement on. So with this program, we want to take the reins off of you and use collaboration and your knowledge of the commercial market to blast out information to your online sphere that's going to keep you top of mind when it comes to commercial real estate. So it's super important for any agent in this program to work with their digital marketer to provide commercial content, whether it be a specific specialty like land, retail, office, or hospitality, or just general commercial content. So basically, your digital marketer will take the time to do the tedious part of the digital marketing for you, and then you can focus on building relationships. So this is an overview of the program. We have 3 options. The first option is the getting started. So this is $150 a month. It's $100 with a purchase of a package. So this is going to be your Facebook business setup, your LinkedIn page setup, your Google business page setup, CBC Worldwide setup, and testimonial tree configuration. We're also going to do a custom domain connection and an overview of BombBomb. And with this selection, there is a commitment of a 30-minute Zoom session per month with your digital marketing specialist and a 6-month participation in the program. So this is going to be a good option if you just don't know where to get started and you want to get all your profiles set up.
And I think looking at this, sorry, just to butt in because I do that. I think looking at this, I think we need to update the verbiage on that because the getting started part is actually like you can see with the rest of the verbiage, that's like a one-time payment thing. So we've had agents both in residential and commercial who say, hey, I know how to do all of the stuff. I just need everything set up for me because making it look good and making it look professional is just, I don't have the time to do that. So the getting started is meant to do all of that for you. So I think we should update that and we can talk after, of course. So it says 150 per package or one-time fee or something, because if you purchase a getting started with a plus or a premium program, then it's $100 one time. And then the other ones are month to month. But if you're like, hey, I don't really, I don't know if plus or premium is right for me yet, but I do want to get everything squared away. That's where the commercial, that's where the 150 will come in, where we'll go in, do all of that stuff for you, hand back the reins, and then you're off to the races. So getting started is a one-time thing, and then the other 2 are the month-to-month packages. But that's on me for not having that verbiage updated. So we'll make sure to do that.
That's okay. Thank you for clarifying that. And then the next one we have is the Plus program. So this is going to be all your posting. So 3 to 5 posts on Facebook business page a week, and then on LinkedIn, your testimonial tree, your Google business profile, listing maintenance and updates. So that will be continuously updated for you throughout the month. And then your CBC Worldwide profile, maintenance and updates. We're also going to send out 2 emails to Coldwell Banker commercial professionals across the United States per month, and then a monthly email blast to your sphere. So this could be a newsletter about market updates, any listings, market analysis, stats, those kinds of things. And then this also includes professional bio writing assistance. So that one is $250 a month.
And just to be, I'm just going to pop in when I have thoughts, just so I can help you out. So we can tag team it. But I think the other thing to keep in mind is that the tools that we're using for some of these, when we're looking at the emails to CBC professionals, monthly email blasts, we're leveraging the tools built for our commercial agents by the brand. So this isn't something that we've gone off and just made our own little random thing like, oh, this could be really powerful. We're using what we know works to make sure that we're getting in front of the people that we know are a part of these programs, a part of getting these things. So when you see 2 emails sent to CBC professionals, it's not just, Lindsay on your behalf saying, hey, this is, here's a cool listing. It is professionally built through a professional system sent out to the professionals across the US. And then the same with the email blast too. We're leveraging the tools built for you, built for commercial agents and properties to really get out in front of everyone.
Definitely. Yes. Thank you. And then the last option that we have is the premium. So this one includes ads. So this is going to be everything that Plus includes. And then we're also going to add in a monthly LinkedIn ad campaign and a continuous Google search ad campaign. So really the content that's going out through these 3 programs is based on you and what you think is valuable. And then we're also going to tie in content from the brand, any of your listings. It's tailored to you and your own market too, in your area. So the collaboration is going to be super important, where we sit down together and we discuss what you want the content to look like that month, or if we want to try something different. It's all about the marketing strategy that's going out. So JD, do you have anything to add?
No, I mean, I know you mentioned this earlier, but one of the things that we were intentional about when we built this is going, okay, we don't want to just copy and paste the residential digital program. We want to make sure that we're doing it intentionally and that it's built for commercial. And the premium one is the package that comes with the ad spend, but the plus one is a lot of organic posting. It's making sure that everything is set up. It's getting in front of like we said, the professionals nationwide. But you guys know far better than us that when it comes to commercial real estate, it is very much a who you know and the connections you have in the sphere that you already have. So what we want to do is help give you tools to make sure that when you're in those conversations and meeting those people, that you have more assets to choose from. We always tell any of our clients, whether it's commercial or residential DAP, that if you're part of one of these programs, you get to tell your potential clients on your listing appointments, I have a digital marketing specialist on my team. I have somebody that does the marketing for me that makes really great assets to make your property shine. All right. So when we are working on this stuff, when you're in these programs, we're using those tools and building these things so that when you are in those conversations, you just have that much more to impress them with. You have the things you've been doing for years that continue to work, and now you have this extra avenue. And I don't know if he actually made it onto the call. Oh, I do. So I was just talking about this yesterday, but Jeff Greenway's on the call, and he used to be our director of luxury for the company. And there's a line that I stole from him that I use in all of these a lot of these trainings where if you are sitting with a client and you're saying, I also have a digital marketing specialist that's going to help promote your commercial property on our digital platforms, as well as the traditional things we do, which is really powerful in terms of using, getting in front of professionals, not only in our community, but nationwide. And if you decide to go work with somebody else, that's totally fine. Just make sure they're doing that for you too. Using that kind of verbiage of just make sure that wherever you go, they also have a digital marketing specialist who's also going to do all that stuff. It's one of those things where when they walk away from that conversation, they're going to go, well, shoot, is so-and-so going to do that for me? Or are they going to do it? You're just adding that much more value. So the 2 levels we have are built for 1, to build your presence more succinctly in your sphere and in your market. And then 2, to push the premium, to push that outside of just the sphere that you currently have, to target people through LinkedIn where there are professional, what was I going to say? Geez, I don't know why I completely lost my train of thought. Where there are the professional networks already there, and to use the Google ad campaign, because one thing that is highly underrated in real estate across the board is using Google ads, Google search ads, so that when people are searching for things, when they're searching for commercial brokers, commercial properties for sale, you are showing up in those searches. So anyway, long spiel there.
Oh, that was great. Thank you. Yeah, so those are our 3 options for you guys. And we really built this with commercial in mind, and we want to support our commercial brokers, get their digital presence, increase their digital presence. And if it's just something that you don't have time to do, but you've been wanting to do it for a long time, this is going to be a great option for you.
And
So if you are, what's that?
well, and one thing that I always like to, similar to the thing about make sure they're doing this for you, my other question is, or the other thing I want you to think about is when you look at the other commercial brokers in your office, the other commercial agents, or your competitors in the market, how many of them are doing something like this? So there are two possible answers there. One is a few of them are. So then, or one of them or a few or a bunch, then you need to catch up to them because they're essentially ahead of the curve of what you should be doing. And two, if you say, well, not a lot of them are really doing that, now you're doing something to differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack. So if you, I mean, I know that like I said, it's a very network based industry. You know what a lot of your competitors are doing marketing wise and what they're not doing. So you can sit there and go, okay, I know that agent A, agent B, agent C aren't doing anything like this. This is now going to set me apart. Or if they're already doing it, then you need to catch up and make sure what you're doing is professional and better than what they have been doing. But what it comes down to is that in a market that is shifting, in an arena that marketing is different from region to region, place to place, having some sort of consistent branding, consistent marketing on digital platforms is huge. And this is, again, I say this, I use this word a lot when it comes to certain marketing things, but it is a differentiator. It's something that you get to bring to your listing appointments or your clients and say, hey, this is what I do when I list your property, or when I help sell your home or sell your property, or find, lease it out, whatever it is that you're doing. This is something that you do that other people aren't going to be doing.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think that consistency is so important, and the consistent communication with your digital marketer on what you're doing. If there's ever something you want to change, just let them know. And, we can tailor it to what you want. And
let's talk about on that to that note, actually, Linz, let's talk about the monthly meetings. Why do we ask for a Zoom meeting once a month? It's because you mentioned this earlier, but one of the biggest aspects to make this work is collaboration. We are the ones here, the digital marketers are the ones here building this content, executing on the digital marketing, and making sure it goes out there. But there's also an element of making sure that it's reflecting you and your brand and you and your team, so that it sounds like you, it looks like it's coming from you, and it has the design or the simplicity or the sleekness of what you were looking for. And so what these Zoom calls are to do is, like, you're always going to be able to, as always, to call, text, or email your digital marketer with questions, or I have a new listing coming up. Can you, advertise this space, whatever it is. But these once a month meetings are there to really make sure that you are on the same page as your marketer moving forward, making sure that, hey, what are we going to do for June? What do you have a listing coming up? Is there a certain message that you want to advertise? And if you're like, well, I don't know, Lindsay or the digital marketer goes, well, here are some of the branding campaigns coming from CBC Worldwide, or coming from the brand. Here are some ideas that I have that we can use to incorporate this into your local messaging. So it helps us make sure that it's sounding the way that you want, but it also holds us accountable to you, because when we have those meetings, we're going over with you the results from the past month. We're saying, here are some of the posts that performed the best. If you're in the premium and there's ad spend, we're going, hey, here are how the ads have been performing. This is how this is working. So that you are seeing the results. So that, again, not to keep going back to the listing appointments, we give you a physical report, a PDF that you can look at, print, download, and then you bring that to your client and you say, this is what I do. This is one aspect of the marketing I do for your properties. So we ask for these meetings so that we all stay on the same page. I mean, the Commercial Digital Accelerator Program has been around in some form for maybe 4-ish months now, as we've been kind of developing it, maybe 6-ish months. The residential one has been around for a little over 2 years now. And in those 2 years, 2.5 years, the biggest breakdown in a digital accelerator program is lack of communication and lack of collaboration. And we've continued to do everything on our part to make sure that we are over communicating, sharing everything, being very clear. So what we ask in return is that that when we have meetings, as best as you can, we show up to these. If we have to reschedule, of course, we get that, like that's real estate, but it's important that we touch base once a month so that you feel comfortable with what's happening and that you understand what's happening and that we hear from you what you want to focus on, what's coming up. So we meet not just to make sure that, not just to say hi, which is always probably the best part of it, just to say hi and catch up, but then to also say, here's what we're doing, here's how this is working. What do you want to do for the next month? Anything coming up, anything of interest that you think will be powerful for, June or for July or whatever.
Definitely, yeah, and if there's anything you wanna change, just let us know. We're never gonna be offended or anything. We want it
Yeah,
to be what you want, the content that you want to go
exactly.
on.
We want it
So,
to look the way you want it to. So to hear from you on that is huge.
yes.
So does
So,
anybody have questions?
I can't see the chat. Is there anything in the chat?
There's nothing in the chat. I'm curious. So Linz, can you explain if somebody is interested with what they like, how what to do essentially? How do
Yeah,
they move forward?
definitely. So, if you go to schmidtresources.com/commercial, and then it's gonna be the first tab at the top, commercial DAP program. And you scroll down here, there's gonna be a form down here that says, think you're ready for commercial DAP. Fill out the form below and we'll be in touch to book your onboarding call. So you just fill this out and we'll be in touch with you.
And what the next step in that, what happens is that you actually get a call from Tracy, Tracy Bacigalupi to kind of discuss it. And the reason why she talks to you is because we also want to make it very clear that like DAP to us, especially commercial DAP, it's not a numbers game. It's not let's get the most amount of people in, whether they're ready for it or good for it or not, or anything like that. What we want to do is make sure that you are a good fit for this, that this is going to help your business, that it's going to be a value add for you. Maybe you're not ready for it yet. Maybe, you talk to Tracy and you guys decide, you know what, maybe 6 months from now is when I really want to do this, or maybe the next busy season or something like that. We'll make note of that and we'll reach out. But Tracy essentially loves to vet everybody to make sure that one, we're all on the same page about what what the program is and isn't, but two, to make sure that you feel like it's a good fit, because no one here wants to coerce anybody into it. And she'll tell you, hey, maybe not now, maybe later, or hey, yep, let's do this. Let's make it happen. So this link, as we said, this link's on Schmidt Resources, but you've got myself, you've got Lindsay, who's fantastic, you've got Tracy. If you have questions, if you want to deep dive more about it, or have that initial meeting to say, okay, I was at the informational, I kind of get what the program is. Let's take a look at what this could do for my business. Is this a good fit for me? We're always more than happy to have those conversations. But it's taking that first step to sign up, to raise your hand and say, hey, this is something that I want to do for my business. So any other questions, anything come up oh, there is one person in the chat. Lauren says, I have a business Facebook page, so the commercial will be a new different site. So that's a great question, Lauren. So I know that you and I are doing Ignite on the side outside of this, more on the residential side. And so what I would say is that I've kind of looked at it as rectangles and squares, in the sense that if you are in the residential DAP program, the monthly DAP program, we can absolutely do commercial listings from time to time, because you might have some residentials or you might have a commercial income up. We try to kind of be flexible with that, and we're easily able to do that. With commercial DAP, it's very much exclusively commercial. We don't want this to be kind of a two-way thing. We want to make sure this is perfect for commercial agents and commercial properties. So if you came in and say, hey, I already have a Facebook business page, but I think I want to do commercial, we would leverage that to do the commercial. If we needed to rebrand it a little bit, maybe change a couple of the graphics or the verbiage to reflect that, we can absolutely do that. But it's best for the consumer that you have one channel. So what I wouldn't want to do is have like Loren Williams Realtor and then Loren Williams Commercial Realtor, because one, that's going to be confusing for you, and two, is going to be confusing for the consumer. So I'd rather utilize channels you already have built so that it's easier for the consumer and easier for you and stuff like that. And that's where, I'd say that's where the kind of getting started part comes in, that we have on screen here, where if you go, hey, I already have a lot of the stuff set up, awesome. Then we can come right in and just start executing on the package. But someone might come in and go, hey, I don't have a LinkedIn. I don't have a business page. I don't have a Google business profile. I have a CBC Worldwide profile, but I haven't touched it. I don't know how to do that. We're going to come in and make sure everything looks the way it should so that you can kick off and get going with it. Anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, well, I will say that this has been recorded. I'm going to make sure we get it uploaded to schmidtvideoclassroom.com. So if you know people who are interested but couldn't make it, the recording is there or will be there soon. But if you have questions, reach out to Lindsay. She can answer them. She helped build this from the ground up and is really, really well versed on all of this stuff. So if you have questions, please reach out to her. Otherwise, if you're interested, sign up at the bottom of that link and Tracy will be in touch and we'll get going on stuff. But thank you guys for your time today. And Mariano said,
I was gonna say, we do have one more.
yeah. Do you offer an analysis of what is already set up and see where things can improve? Yeah, that's one of those things, Mariano, that I would say we would probably just do complimentary. Like that, like something like that is more of just a consultation. If you said, hey, Lindsay, I would love to do commercial DAP, but I don't know if I need getting started or not. Here's what I have. We could look at that and go, hey, yep, this is great. This is great. Maybe a couple tweaks here, but we can do that in the program. It's a matter of, do they need to be rebuilt or refreshed to a certain degree? But if you're just like, hey, you know what? I don't think I need the programs right now, or maybe I do, but a few months from now, but I just want to make sure everything that I've already done looks good. You can just send us links and we'll essentially audit that and go, yeah, this looks great. This looks really good. Or here's a couple things I would fix. The getting started part is very much like if you said you want to do that and you've told Lindsay, hey, I only have a Facebook business page and nothing else set up, that would be where we'd say, hey, getting started is probably going to be a good bet. But if you've got it set up, we'll audit it, take a look, give some notes, and then you're all set from there. Okay. Well, like I said, this is gonna be recorded. I'll end the call, but thank you, Lindsay, for sharing all this stuff. If you guys have questions, she's there for you. Thank you guys for your time, but otherwise have a great rest of I don't even know what date it is, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Guys. Bye.